Hey, welcome back to Nick Vic Locks. Tonight we're continuing on the How to Pick series, covering different pins. Last video we talked about mushroom pins. We've talked about spools, serrated pins, T-pins, standard pins. Well, next on my list to discuss are let's angle that a little bit more. Try to get some of that glare off. Tapered pins. It's supposed to be a candle on a candlestick holder, like you'd carry around, old-timey. Tapered pins, or why I hate the Blue Belt ASA 700. So, tapered pin consists of three parts if you want to count each of the ends as a separate piece, but two parts. Let's get something here to point. Oh, let's get this, show this beautiful thing off. So we have the middle section, which is just a standard pin. And then our ends are our tapered bits, where it just kind of comes down a little bit. If it helps to think about it, think of it as a chamfering. Whenever you have like a desk or something, sharp edges, you can come over and kind of smooth that off so it's another flat plane instead of a sharp 90-degree angle. And that's what the taper is. So I don't know 100% if that's where it got its name from, but I'm assuming or guessing it gets its name from candles, because you have a taper. Somebody that makes candles is a taperer, I think. Whatever, but they have that chamfer or angled bit there at the top from where they dunk it and pull it up, and then it kind of runs down from the wick. So, but we have, normally if you find them in a lock from the factory, like the ASA 700 or any of the 700s, it'll be like this on both ends. If you get it in a challenge lock, odds are it's going to be just one end's tapered, which I made a pin to show off, and that's what I did. I only tapered one end of it, because the end that interacts with the core plug and the shear line is the only end that actually matters. So, but three components to it. All we really care about are two: the standard section and then the bottom taper. So most of the time, the standard section is going to be caught at the shear line within the core of the lock. I don't have any blue. Let's go with blue. So we have our shear line here. So it's going to behave just like every other standard pin. Just when it binds, it binds. You're not going to have any extra clicks or anything as you're moving it. But once that shear line gets to, say, here into the taper, the diameter of the pin is changed. And what that means is that this may no longer be the binding pin. What may happen is you'll probably push it and it'll clear the shear line fully and then fall back down some and catch somewhere within this taper. Now, once this clears the shear line or hits the taper, the diameter is smaller, so it will no longer be a binding pin. So some other pin is going to be binding up in a standard area. Now we set that pin, and it might be that this pin is now binding again. So we go to push it, same thing. We move that shear line a little bit. It's still not fully out of the plug, but we've decreased the diameter more, so now something else is binding. So we go back, we set the whatever pin's binding or move it up some so that this is now our largest diameter again. But what may happen is, due to counter rotation, bumping the lock or something else, movement may shift this back up, or a shear line up and down more. So we were here, and then because of counter rotation or whatever reason, now we've gone back up to this line. So we start the process again. We push on it, our shear line moves, it's no longer binding, find the next binding pin, come back, and it's just a lot of tapping, a lot of micro tapping until that pin is above the shear line. One of the things with tapered pins that you got to keep in mind too is, especially the more tapered pins there are, the more important it becomes, which is somewhat counterintuitive to most other advice that I have given or talked about, or you hear people talk about. Heavy tension on tapered pins goes a long way because it'll keep these from falling back down into that core plug, and then hopefully reduce the number of times that you have to tap that pin to get it set. So let me zoom in a little here. We can maybe get this to focus. So it does kind of look like a key pin a little bit, but it's just the taper pin. You can see we have a flat area on top and then just that taper. Now I made 4 of them. 3 of them I have put into the cutaway here. And then I've also added 2 spools and then a standard in 6, just to kind of give it some stability in the core. So one of the spools here in chamber 3 is a very over-exaggerated, not spool, tapered pins. In chamber 3 is very over-exaggerated, overdone. I don't know how well that's showing up here compared to in 1 and was it 5? Yeah. To hopefully show it dropping down more from core movement to where we have to tap it multiple times. It's the same reason I included the spools in here. But I'll get this put into the vise and get the camera angles changed, all that fun stuff. And we'll work on picking this and showing how the pins work. Okay, now that we have this in the vise, just to show that tapered pin again, we're really zoomed in. You can really see the taper on it. Flat spot. So we need a thicker tensioner. That one's probably too big. This one. Yep. Okay. Just that light a little bit more. There we go. Okay. All right. So we go with 1 and nothing, 2, 3, 4, 5 is binding. All right, got a little click. And 6. Little click on 6. All right, 1, nothing, 2, nothing, 3. Got a little click. And then nothing. 4, 5. We can get to it. And 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's binding. We can get to it. There we go. It's on 5 and then 6. No. 6 still binding. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3. 3's binding. Look click. Still feels like it's binding. There we go. Little core movement. All right. Oh, okay. So I got all of the tapered set, it seems like. Now we just got spools. So work on getting this to. All right, you can see that when we set or tried to get 2, we dropped a whole bunch of other stuff. 4, 5. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't feel anything. 1. 1's binding. Okay. So here, let's try and set 4. It's 4. Oh, 4 is set. Okay. And just 2. Okay. So we got 2 set. And we dropped our tapers again. Well, that's what I get for trying to hold it at an awkward angle. We got this one. Thankfully, we didn't lose. Oh, we did get it open. Okay. That's why I fell. I had to go back and tap it. All right, let's lock it up. Let's go the other way. That might feel better, be less awkward for me. All right. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is binding. We'll click. Just kind of. All right. Nothing on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, now 6. I felt like it was binding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 'Come on. There we go. Oh, no, we're in a false set. Okay. What are we stuck on here? Let's see here. 1, 2, 2. No, 3. Gotta be 4, 5, 6. What am I caught on? Is it 2? It is 2. Okay. One, 2. Hmm. 1, Okay. Or is that? Five. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Deck 1, 2. Fighting against the warding. There we go. Okay. So hopefully you can see with that with the spools interacting or other pins that the tapers are going to drop back down. Potentially you can really see how exaggerated that is there. In stack 3. How they can shift, and you're going to have to go back and tap them multiple times before you can get them open. That is tapered pins. Yeah. I don't really have much more to add on them than that. Hopefully you guys found the video enjoyable, entertaining, educational, something like that. I don't know. But it's here, let's zoom out some. Little side note, this is a cutaway from It's Tactical, or Imminent Threat Solutions Tactical. Or they aren't around anymore, so this is kind of a pseudo collector's item, I guess. But nobody told you. You matter. You're important, and I'm glad you're here. You all have a good one.
Juno, you want to subscribe?